Hello everybody, this is Christina from Monday's New Hope, and this week we are going to speak about depression in our eating disorder recovery. Now, this is a very emotional subject for me because I struggled with depression for many years, and I can understand where you're coming from. Usually, people with eating disorder may struggle with depression as a consequence of their eating disorder, as a consequence of not nurturing their body, not nurturing their brain, as a consequence of the isolation that your eating disorder um, come with, and as a consequence of your self-hate. But there are also the cases when depression comes first, and I think that in this case it might be a bit difficult to treat it. Now, the very first thing that I need to say is that you need to ask for help, and I hope that this is well understood for everybody and was not even need to say it, but you need to ask for help, you need to see your doctor, you need to go into therapy, because depression as well as your eating disorder is something that you need to work upon for a long period of time, and you need help. You cannot no, I'm not saying that you cannot do it by yourself, but it's gonna be much more easier if you ask for help from a therapist. Um, the second thing that I need you to understand is the fact that depression and eating disorder are very well connected and very well linked between them. You cannot see the two as apart. Yeah, indeed, they are two different mental illnesses, but they go hand in hand and one influences the other. So you might find that if your eating disorder is getting better, your depression might get better as well, and also when one gets worse, the other one does as well. This being said, the very first thing that you need to do in order to deal better and manage better your depression and your eating disorder is to feed your body. I know, it's not simple, it's actually the main problem of our eating disorder, but I cannot underline this enough how important it is to treat your body, because your brain needs food in order to function properly. Your emotions, that are actually a big part of your depression, are created by your brain, and if your brain does not have the food and the nutrients that it needs, it will not function properly. So you will need, for a number of months, to feed your body properly. You need to give to your brain the whole range of nutrients, starting from vegetables to carbohydrates, also sugars, because sugar is the food for your brain. Now, doing this by itself, in a few months, you should already see the differences in your in the state of your depression. And I'm telling you this because I saw it on myself, that even if I don't do anything else at all for myself, the simple fact of eating right and eating all type of nutrients, so this, I repeat myself, including carbohydrates and sugars and all the other nutrients, this by itself will give you a big help. um, after this step, the most important thing is your motivation. If you don't really want to get out of your depression, you won't. I'm sorry to say this, but if I mean if you believe that the way you're feeling right now uh, is the way that you should feel forever and you don't want to change it, you will not. So you will really need a motivation to change. The change will happen slowly, so you have to be very strong in your motivation. In order to have this, I think it might help you whenever you feel that your motivation is getting down. It should help you if you remember why is it that you want to recover from your eating disorder and also from your depression. What are the advantages that your recovery will give to you? Try to picture your life without the eating disorder and without the depression. Um, Try to imagine how it will be, how you will live. Picture a day, a typical day of your life without the depression, without the eating disorder. This should be a very good motivator. It actually helps me a lot. Now, I strongly believe that our depression as well as our eating disorder are based on a self-hate relationship with ourselves. So the very first step in recovering from eating disorder and also not feeling that sadness and that panic that you feel all the time when you're depressed, it should be start loving yourself. I know this is much easier said than done, and in the past on our channel we've did different videos on self-love, so you can go and check that out. But self-love will come with time. Will be a very slow process. It would not happen overnight. Again, you really need to be motivated to do this. You really need to want it. You really need to want to love yourself and to change this relationship with you. And I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy. I actually don't have a solution to this. It's not a pill that I can say you should take and everything will be better by tomorrow. It's gonna be easier if it would be like this, but it's not. But you can start and do small things. I'm not gonna get into the topic of self-love because there are a lot of things to say and it is not actually the topic of this video. But what I actually wanted to underline about self-love and say self-hate actually is the fact that doing positive affirmations might be a good help, but pay attention to what type of affirmation you're doing yourself, because if you find yourself in a self-hate relationship with your body and with yourself for a long time, uh, I don't think that it will help if you start telling yourself by tomorrow, I love myself, because you are not going to believe it. So you need to start with the small things that you have already and with the small things that you like about yourself. I would also like to recommend a channel on YouTube. It's actually a spiritual guide that I like a lot. It's called, her name is Teal Scott, and her channel, I think it's called The Spiritual Catalyst, if I'm not wrong. So you can check her out. She has a lot of good videos on self-love and self-hate. So again, do not focus on the things that you don't like about yourself or the things that you don't have yet. It's better if you try to focus on the small things that you do like about yourself, the small things that you do have now in your life. Don't go too far by imposing yourself to say I have to love myself, because this will not happen. It's not realistic. Start with the small things, and from there you can build on each day a small new thing. Yeah, I hope this helps, and if you do have other questions, let me know. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.